Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to 3.5 Podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Bell, and I'm with my friend here, Tony.
Tribal T, yo, what it do? How's it going?
Okay, and we're here to talk to you about identifying the enemy, solidarity, and vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Yeah, we got our drinks. Got our drinks in our cups.
Tequila all day, baby. Pinkies out, baby.
Because everybody needs a drink. Everybody needs a drink now, right? Okay. So today, I want to talk about identifying the enemy, solidarity, and vision. Honestly, every episode I want to focus on vision. What is it that we want to replace this system with? What are we marching towards? What is the vision, the idea that we have for a society that is better for all of us? That is because we don't want to burn everything down and have nothing to rebuild with. Or we don't want to burn everything down and replace it with the same shit we just burnt down because we're ignorant. So
Definitely defeats the purpose.
exactly. Solidarity. Identifying the enemy and solidarity. I was thinking specifically about Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton, who was shot down by the FBI at the age of 23 years old. He was a Black Panther chairman. And his idea, one of his big ideas, was called the Rainbow Coalition. Rainbow Coalition was a code word for working class movement or working class struggle.
They have black people and white poor people and red poor people and Puerto Rican poor people and Latin American Puerto Rican people of poor people of all descents. They had them caught up in movements based on racism when the Black Panther Party stood up and said that we don't care what anybody says. We don't think you fight fire with fire best, we think you fight fire with water best. We're going to fight racism, not with racism, but we're going to fight with solidarity. We said we're not going to fight capitalism with black capitalism, but we're going to fight it with socialism. We stood up and said we're not going to fight reactionary pigs and reactionary state's attorneys like this and reactionary state's attorneys like Hanrahan with any other reactions on our part. We're going to fight their reaction with all of us people to get together and have an international proletarian revolution.
Right on.
Right on. And that's saying all power to the people.
Right on.
That's saying that no matter what color you are, there's only two classes. And that's saying there's a class over here and there's a class over there. And the reason that this class over here has never did anything to get this class off its back because this is lower, this is upper. This is the oppressed, this is the oppressor. This is the exploited, this is the exploiter. And these people in this class have divided themselves. They say, I'm black and I hate white people. I'm white and I hate black people. I'm Latin American and I hate hillbillies. I'm hillbilly and I hate Indians. So we fight amongst each other. And you've heard the testimony of pigs here. You got pigs of all colors, you know that. You got pigs that are white, you got pigs that are black, you even got pigs that are black and white. Propagating the same type of madness that this buffoon Hanrahan would be propagating if he were here himself. And why? Because they want to keep you to believing that I'm your enemy, and that everybody else that's black and that wears a lot of hair on his head and hair on his face, they want to keep you thinking that he's your enemy. Why? Because if ever you would disregard him and overlook him just for a minute and throw away that question of racism and start into dealing with a little logic, then there would be no one else you could attack other than Hanrahan, other than Daley, and other than Tricky Dicky Nixon.
He acknowledged that there were two classes. There were the exploited and the exploiters, the oppressed and the oppressors. Now within the oppressed, you have black people who are the oppressed of the oppressed. But to get rid of our oppression is to produce justice for all, essentially. And so I want to talk briefly about a story where the Black Panthers actually teamed up with a group called the Young Patriots.
Ethnic and racial groups each created their own social service and activist networks to combat every kind of oppression. One was the Young Patriot Organization, which was based in Hillbilly Harlem, an uptown neighborhood of Chicago populated by displaced white Southerners. Many YPO members were racist, and they flaunted controversial symbols associated with Southern pride, such as the Confederate flag. But like blacks and Latinos, the white Young Patriots and their families experienced discrimination in Chicago. In their case, it was because they were poor and from the South.
And they were honestly racist as fuck. They were a racist organization, but they also focused on economic justice. And the Black Panthers ended up teaming up with them. The Young Patriots and members from the Black Panthers ended up just going to each other's meetings, and eventually they realized they had a lot in common, a lot more in common than they had not in common. And they decided to work together to try to overcome economic injustice. And it wasn't only with the Young Patriots, they teamed up with them as well as Puerto Rican organizations, women's movements, as many oppressed peoples as possible to combat the actual enemy. And the actual enemy is this oligarchic, for-profit, capitalist, neoliberal structure that we're all in. Eventually, the Young Patriots decided to get rid of their Confederate flag because they were like Confederate flag wielding racist ass people. They eventually got rid of the Confederate flag and decided to denounce their racist beliefs because they eventually realized we have so much more in common. You are not my enemy. The enemy is this economic system that we're all suffering under. And that is what I think we should focus on, as well as vision. No matter what I'm talking about in an episode, it's going to be that plus vision. We identified the enemy. What do we think is the marching step, or what do we think is what we're trying to get to?
That end game, what our steps are towards getting to said end game, or the vision as she's been putting it.
Okay, now I want to talk about Chris Hedges again. Yes, I'm talking about this man again, the 3.5 campaign. I got it from his book. Definitely think that everybody should read this. Wages of... Is this shit backwards, my nigga? I mean, everybody should read Wages of Rebellion. Wages of Rebellion by Chris Hedges. I don't know how I'm gonna edit that to not be ratchet as fuck. Anyway, so I want to, because he's really great at talking about who the enemy is as well. He says, we must step outside of the system to pit power against power, Hedges said. This will not be easy. It will not happen quickly or in one election cycle. It is a process, but one, especially given the ecocide and corporate serfdom that confronts us, we must embrace as a moral imperative. Voting is a small part of this process, but it sends an important signal to the ruling elites that their time is up, or soon to be up. We must stop fearing them. They must start fearing us. Donald Trump, along with the corporate oligarchs, nativists, conspiracy theorists, Christian fascists, and racists who support him, is the symptom, not the disease, the product of our failed democracy. Hedges went on. Demagogues are always vomited up in societies beset with political and economic decay. I witnessed this in the former Yugoslavia. They manipulate a legitimate rage among a betrayed working class and the working poor to set neighbor against neighbor. Trump supporters are not, however, our enemies. I repeat, Trump supporters are not, however, our enemies. And I know there's going to be some controversies, y'all are going to come at me, but come at me. Our enemy is our enemy is the tiny cabal of corporate oligarchs that have seized control of the two parties, the three branches of government, the media, academia, our health services, and the economy. They have usurped our rights to exclusively serve corporate profit. The consent of the governed has become a cruel joke. The politicians and leaders of the two ruling parties are selected and anointed by our corporate masters. They are corporate puppets. Without corporate money and support, they would not be in power. I repeat, without corporate money and support, they would not be in power. They would not be in power. They do not work for us, and they know it. This is especially true in New Jersey, which has one of the most corrupt Democratic Party machines in the nation. And he said that because he was running for a congressional position in New Jersey. So that's what Chris Hedges had to say. Our enemy, just like Fred Hampton was trying to say, our enemy is not each other within this oppressed group. This system that encourages and rewards exploitation, nurtures and creates systems such as racism, creates systems that are based on severe exploitation. And we're just caught up in it. And black people have the extreme short end of the exploitated stick, but it's still within this for-profit exploitative system that we're all suffering in. And so we need to actually create some solidarity and figure out what other systems have existed in the past, which I want to talk about in the future, in future episodes. What systems have existed in the past, and what systems can we think of for the future? What do we want to go towards? You got anything?
What don't I have on this, man? Especially since I work in hospitality at an actual hospital, I've definitely seen a lot of the mistreatments, the unacknowledged things that a lot of people do, especially given right now where we are currently in this, COVID situation, for an example. A lot of the nursing staff, even anyone below the nursing staff, like when it comes to, housekeeping people, HR staff, cafeteria, a lot of individuals are not being heard or even being noticed for whatever the struggles are, but you do have to go through a lot to even be seen, and it's still not what you want to be noticed for, per se. It's more towards money based. Everything's about the dollar bill. It's never about anything else. Hospitality goes out the window, humanity goes out the window. It's a corporate business that manipulates how everything is seen, portrayed, or rewarded towards an individual.
So I want to, the George Floyd tragedy, the protests going on, everything that's happening, we don't mind. I'm a pretty violent person. I'm a peaceful person. But I like to fight. Like, I like martial arts. Like, I've been in martial arts. I love guns. I have, like, a lot of BB guns. Well, not a lot. I have, like, 2 BB guns. and we're honestly down with like, what do we need?
I'm here for the smoke
to destroy, but at the same time, one, if we don't have to do that,
I won't.
We won't, because we got family, we have
Me personally, I have a whole child,
you know what
so
I'm
I
saying,
have to even think about whether it's affecting him in the right now and the long run, let alone me.
Exactly.
If it was just me, it might be, a different story, but at the same time, I still want to go about it intellectually versus just going off of, an emotional response of right then and there response. Because I've already done that already. I got a past, I've done some things. I'm not afraid to go out there and do some more things. Not at all. But I want to do them intellectually, smartly, with, steps and goals in mind now, because I'm older, I'm more experienced, I'm wiser with project my rage or my dislike, love, distrust, whatever have you. I want to be able to do that in a positive way, but at the same time, still get my message across that I'm not with the shits.
Yeah.
I'm over the bullshit. Yes, I'm enraged, but I am at the calm state, which to me is a more dangerous state. I'm calm about my rage. That's a problem.
So honestly, like, I get it. Like the protests, the riots, all that shit. It's like, yo, like, I may not exactly know where this is gonna go, but at the very least, I need y'all to know how angry I am. I need y'all to know how not okay this is. Like, I need y'all to realize I do not know my vision perfectly, but at the very least, y'all gonna know I'm pissed as shit. And anybody that has a plan that can do something, bring that shit out.
Let me know.
Do something. Let me know. Because
how you doing?
And I need y'all to, everybody else that's just watching, I need y'all to know that I am in pain and this shit hurts, and I may not know what to do, but I need to cause a riot so that something will happen, and
something somewhere, organize,
so
community,
I get it.
Communicate.
So I get that.
Give me something.
And what we're saying is, we feel your passion, and in addition to your passion, what is our vision? Where are we trying to go? Let's think of that collectively. Let's try and figure that out. Let's do our due diligence to study, those who have the capacity to do the studying, because it's a lot of work. That's been another episode of 3.5 Podcasts. And until next time.